we have the bond,
Yeah,
the loan on it, so, so,
One depreciation,
deposits.
Is it standard?
No, let's get some government grants. Let's try the water thing.
That's probably simpler, just to, I think it would be simplified to.
Okay, my question is whether,
Do we do it now or do
well, if we
we?
knew when the bond was gonna, CD was gonna mature, and if we could wait that long, then we could get the full benefit of the interest rate for that time period, instead of taking it out early. And if it's April is 6 months, I mean, back in the application, the 4th month, so it must be like November,
I would guess it's
October, and so are they gonna have repairs done by then? And if we can't, we can't, but I wouldn't take it out yet, so we get a bill.
Yeah, and granted, probably the interest rate on it is very, very minimal because of what CD rates are. And you don't pay but 1 month's penalty on a CD if you put that. So if, I mean, it's probably gonna be pocket change for the most part, if it has to be pulled out early. I think maybe what you could do is approve it to be paid out of that CD and then wait till we get the bill.
I think that's better, because I think just a lower of saying, oh, we got a big number this time, I'm sure we could do something else with that money, when really, that's our rainy day fund. It's raining, it's gonna rain again, so we need that. We need to be.
But I think Stan was probably concerned that we hadn't got that restriction fixed yet.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So we need to make a motion to,
Proceed and take the funds out of the.
yeah, go ahead.
I move that we proceed with the repairs on lift station number 2 and use funds from CD to pay for those expenses.
Do I have a second on that motion?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. So we,
I'm sorry,
So
I'm sorry,
if they give them.
Oh, we can.
Yes.
yes, yeah, they can go ahead and start on it and then we'll wait to transfer the money until we get the official bill and know exactly how much it's going to be.
But we filled out the credit thing, so they know
Yeah,
we're good for it. So.
Okay, Jim, the park issue is the next item on the agenda.
Okay, we had a meeting in the park, just a couple days before the picnic. So we had to have some guy come in there, winds come in here and, pick.
What was the cost on that, Jim? You know, we had
$805.
It was leaking down around the playground equipment where the carnival hooked up their electrical outlets. There was,
Water everywhere.
yeah, water everywhere. In fact, carnival folks, could you take some sand in there? No, because they fenced it off so kids wouldn't be back there and all that during the picnic or before we haven't done that. And
So the money to do that comes out of our village money.
out of the water.
The water fund.
Yeah, I already wrote it.
It's on page 3 of his
Oh,
water.
okay.
The water
and
report.
water.
This isn't the first time we've had that problem. It seems like it happens usually around picnic time.
Right.
Well, this time, the brass, it's all brass, you know, steel or metal or plastic, it's all brass.
So you think it's much.
So you think it should hold better?
Yeah, it's kind of pricey, I know that it's $200 and some dollars for parts. It works.
It's a unique deal because when they put that in 50 years ago, they just, the water line that runs east and west up there, they just put it in, so there's no valve to turn it off, so you're trying to fix something that's gushing water, which makes it interesting.
They They didn't put no meter in.
Yeah, for that down there, yeah, that 1 meter controls
Sorry.
everything.
Good job, well, thanks for doing that, I mean, a short time, short notice.
Okay, moving on to drainage tube plan. Under
That
roads.
was my, I put that on there.
Okay.
You know, we're responsible for ditches and drainage and all that. There's 2 places in town that are, in my opinion, Jim and I go around, everybody else can take the tour and drive, form your own opinion. So I'm not asking for a decision, I'm getting an awareness thing going here. One is at the intersection of 3rd Street and Walnut. Shane Roberts lives on that corner. George DeLarber lives on that corner. And it's not a new problem there, but water doesn't cross under the road. And so it backs up in Parker's yard and Jamie's yard and anyway, so that's a problem area. That if I were going to try and fix something, I'd try and fix it there. And it does have a place to go if it can get through the tube. The other place is at the corner of 4th Street and Locust, which is just down from Don Hoyle. Okay, and if you look, that's a really big ditch, and water does come in from 2 directions, and it's really pretty, well, it's pretty dangerous to have that big a gaping hole if there's a way to fix that. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. I did look, there are no key things. But my suggestion for discussion is, it's going to be expensive, and in the past, the missionaries have helped us with road issues and some things like that, and they have expertise in some areas. I don't know if the crew that's going to be here now and into the future, and we certainly don't require them to do it. They always seem like happy to do something other than mow or whatever they're doing. They like a different project. So I thought when the leadership changes, and we met the new leaders in the Krakens at Veteran last night, that would be a discussion to have with him and see what they think, and then think about it all winter and fix it in the spring, or they say, let's just do it now, or no, we don't have any interest in doing that.
They'll do it.
Well, and I don't want to assume, I don't want to take it for granted. And they have helped, both down on 1st Street and also up on 5th Street. So,
Is there a reason to wait on those repairs with the water system getting ready to come in? Is there a conflict there in any way?
yeah. Well, I would say they're going to be digging up, so I probably wouldn't do them before the water
Right.
happens or figure
Right.
out.
Okay.
That's what I would say. But I don't think you can take Judith next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, would you do it for us? And could you do it now?
Did you pinpoint Chestnut at low?
I did not. That's, well, but the water's coming through there, right? But it's got the big ditch in front of your house.
Right, but the water's coming across the street and washing
Yeah.
out that road.
On the other side, on the
east
church
side.
side.
Comes down
East side.
Chestnut.
It's coming
On your
across the
side.
highway.
On the east side.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I thought
not,
we,
the water ain't getting to the ditch, remember?
Right,
oh, further down on
further up.
Up here.
Further
Okay,
up.
further up.
Yeah, it's not getting into the ditch.
Okay.
About between 3rd and 4th.
And that is something that we can, I think, do with the grader that can be done.
Oh,
with that.
okay.
Between
You mean
Chestnut
make
between
the
Second
ditch
and
so
Third.
that the water go in the ditch?
Yeah,
Jim?
you slope towards the ditch. See, the road is wore out, and the ditch is higher than the road.
So of
Yeah,
course
So
it's
you
not
have
going to
to,
drain there.
have to shave that off.
Yeah.
The roads, the water stays in the road, and that's why it washes across here, and washes that out all the time.
We have the
Don't go
same
to the
problem
ditch.
in all the countries.
Yes, we do.
So that was why I put it on. So I mean, it sounds like people are saying, yeah, let's keep it in mind and do something, but we might be able to do something with between 2nd and 3rd on Chestnut there, right? Don't you think we're going to do something with the,
Or is it 3rd and
Is it 3rd and
That's
4th?
actually 3rd and
Second.
4th, isn't it?
2nd and 3rd? 3rd's road runs in front of my house.
you know?
Yeah.
I thought it was between 2nd and 3rd. I think saying 4th.
Yeah.
Did I say 4th?
It's
Yes,
second and
it's-
third.
Oh, 2nd.
Okay.
Between the highway and my house.
That's
They're
right.
on Chestnut.
Is that what you
Okay.
think? You live there.
Well, I thought when we were talking about it last month, we pinpointed because it was between 3rd and 4th. I looked at it and I could see where it's not going in the ditch between 3rd and 4th.
Well, it ain't be up there either, no.
Okay.
And they did, no, they didn't rip that one up.
The place that really gets bad
is down.
It's
across,
coming,
right.
yeah,
So I
right.
think
Then I
Yeah,
thought you
So if
said
we
that
can
cure
get
was
it
up
to
top.
go in the ditches between Second and Third Street, then it should fix the problem down next to your house on.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
Or help
That's
it.
pretty- Yeah, that's a pretty big issue. Actually.
Yeah, up there.
You see, there's a lot of water comes down the highway too, off the highway. You know, it's not all,
This big lot.
Hmm?
The single lot you have on the north side? Okay, that's interesting. Sorry.
So it's
Off the
different.
highway.
there's a lot of, if you notice, if you get big rain, there's gravel out on the blacktop.
Yeah. So that maybe when we can do something about it.
We'll have to buy some tubes and places. I mean, they don't need them there.
No.
Yeah. So if we're waiting till after the water project for the other ones, but we have to buy tubes and all that. we can- Thanks for letting me talk about that. It's not very glamorous, but it's important. Because all the other stuff we do is glamorous.
Okay, old business, clerk training.
Well, that's ongoing.
Looks like it's working, you're doing a nice job.
I do want to just mention that there was a lot more to this than I thought there was going to be. Just so you know.
There's more pages of stuff.
Just so you know, I know, I gave you pages of stuff and not, it's not overwhelming, but there is a lot to learn and a lot of different things.
Things that the board could do.
Just the thing she has to see one of the villagers.
Yeah, give me a few months until I know what I'm doing, but, yeah, but it was kind of like with the.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks,
Nice to
Steve.
meet you.
Have a good night.
Kind of like when I asked Beth about those, because I've got lots of files, you know, and Beth gave me a 2-drawer file cabinet, and I've got it at home, and I'm getting things brought over from the
You're
uses.
learning and
Right,
sending.
yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm gonna be on the board to do this.
yeah, well, it's just that I wasn't in on the ground floor of some of the things that's, you know, that takes place, ordinances and the water project and all this kind of stuff, so it's a little Greek to me, but I just want to be sure that I keep track of everything that I'm supposed to be keeping track
In
of.
the times that I've observed the board, it seemed to me like I would go, the board should be doing that. Well, you know,
Oh, that's well, trust me, I won't be afraid to speak up and ask for help. I won't, but thank you. No, we spent probably 7 to 10 hours working together over the past month, and then I've spent various times myself. For one thing, I needed to upgrade my Quicken program, and so I bought a Quicken program to upgrade myself, and then I got the village's stuff on the flash drive, and I got it loaded, and so we got all the, I've got the bank account signed where I'm supposed to sign the bank accounts, and I've tried to get addresses changed. Some of the bills were going to the village in care of Denise's home address, I think for convenience, and I've changed everything to go to the PO Box 14 with the village address, light bills, things at the courthouse.
We're sure you're on
Huh?
it. We're sure you're on it.
Well, I want you to know I've been trying to do my job, and so anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing. I do need to buy, the bond. We were trying to chase down there's a CNA has a surety bond, and you all are, I'm sure, are aware of this, and it's a $100,000 blanket bond for the village, and it's carried out of Midland Insurance Agency up in Rockport.
You came to talk to us, do you remember this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
didn't, I'm just.
Yeah,
refreshing
okay.
you.
Okay, so
Okay.
you don't know that. Anyway, I thought that I needed to be
Yes.
bonded on that. Well, it's covered apparently through the blanket policy, but I am going to contact them and make sure that if they need to add my name or whatever. So just thought I would throw that
That's
out
very
there.
important.
It
Yeah,
says,
I got a bond on myself. They sent me a bill this month.
Okay,
Because it comes from a different water, it comes out of water or sewer. That's-
oh, it's a different one, okay. This is.
It's CNA and all that, but it's,
Right, okay.
it's billed through him because.
We also have, I also renewed the, I haven't received it back from the state, but, we had gotten a letter that the Jameson annual renewal was due on the burn permit, the August 20th, I believe it was when it, yeah. No, it actually expires August 25th. And so I filled out, you could actually fill it out online, so I filled out the application, and I submitted it, on, maybe I submitted, I had it out somewhere.
Good.
Anyway, it's been
We need to see this.
taken care of, and it's submitted to them. I know there's a date somewhere. And, anyway, that's in the process, and we should be receiving that momentarily. Missouri Employers Mutual, that's the group, that's they're the ones that are in charge of the, workman's comp insurance. And so every year, apparently every year or two, they send out what they call an audit. It's not really an audit, but it's just asking for information regarding who who's on the board of trustees and all this kind of stuff. Well, anyway, so I sent that, I got that filled out and sent that in, and Denise helped me, and we sent that in on the 30th of July, which is also the date that I did the work. And so anyway, I'm happy to pass this around if you want to see it, but anyway, the bottom line is they got our information, they sent us back a report and said everything was cool, and they had overcharged us based on that information of the employees and what we paid them. They'd overcharged us $63. So I called them and I said, so what do you do with that $63? I said, we're operating on a shoestring here. And he goes, oh, well, we usually, we can apply it to your next year's premium, or we can refund it. And I said, well, why don't you just go ahead and cut us a check? And I got it today, so it's not included on the financial report, but it did come in the mail, the $63. So
Good.
That'll be on the month's report. So I think that's, I don't know.
Do you think, what did we decide on, 10 hours a month? For
I don't.
Denise, do you think that is enough?
Yeah, I
Or
do.
too much?
I
Or-
think it's enough.
It
right
depends on the
now.
day. Yeah.
That's true. Depends on the day. I think it's enough right now. I'm not sure. I hope that I'm more comfortable with everything by the time, when I get to the end of the first quarter, or my first full quarter, and do the employee tax reports and all that. I actually did them online with her. I did it, and she was watching and told me what to do. And so it's like anything. The first time you do it, you're thinking, okay, this is pretty easy. But then if I can remember how to do it, and then probably the most time we'll need to spend will probably be in December,
Right.
when we're doing budgets
Yeah.
and the year end and all the year end financials. And I would anticipate, definitely needing that. And I'm still using all of her systems, and that's cool for now. And next year I'm probably going to put a bunch of stuff on spreadsheets and through Excel. There is one thing that I do want to mention, and I don't know if anybody cares, but I talked to Jim, and I'm gonna start closing payroll out on the 10th of the month. And Denise had always done it like Monday or Tuesday before the meeting. And then you have to print these reports, and we have to make sure everything's balanced and all that. And I talked to Jim, and it's really mostly just concerns he and I, and the balance end of date on the report. And I can give you the current balance if there's activity between that report and if we write a check. But for convenience for us, it would work better to have, for example, in October 1st is on a Thursday, which means the 15th is the third Thursday. So if you can't really close out on like a 15th, but if we back it up to the 10th, then that gives Jim and I, or we can get our reports all done over the weekend or whatever, and not be rushed. And I prefer to do that. So if that
Sounds good. I think that's good.
I don't think there was a time in writing, but that's kind of had been a standard, and that's something I already changed, so.
Just done.
Yeah, check, yeah, okay.
Okay. Bank accounts and address changes?
Yeah, I already covered that,
Covered
already
that.
got that taken care of.
Okay.
And the burn permit.
Burn
And
permit, we
I
took
jumped
care of
onto
that.
Sorry,
Okay.
that wasn't really new business, but that's where I put it on the agenda.
Is that a burn permit to burn that stuff over there?
The burn pile.
The burn
Yeah.
pile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently DNR wanted them to have a permit here years ago, so.
Okay, Christmas festival is next on the agenda.
Well,
Don was here.
you see that we have we're pouring $1,800 to live the rest of the year on here. And so fundraising has been pretty common for this board for several years in the form of the Hunter's Breakfast, the spring luncheon fashion show event, and it was the Christmas Village Festival, which was held in here, and lots of people donated, and Jan and Denise worked their tails off, and it was a great success. We had the children sing at the park, and we lit the Christmas tree and all that. And after 3 years or 2 years, it had run its course. So last year, for the first time, last year for the first time, Donna Chadwick stepped forward and did much what she was like a picnic, invited vendors to come and pay a fee and set up in the school building, and gave a booth for students if they wanted it, for the school and for the betterment and to didn't make anybody locally involved with the fundraiser paid to raise funds. The opportunities for making money are the fees, and Betterment last night agreed with sponsoring of the fees. We're going to go for the booth fees, we'll go to them. But there's also the meals, the breakfast and lunch, and there is a booth. And the booth can be items that people donate, whatever that is, and then also could have to do a bake sale as well. So the question is, do we as a village board, and hopefully support from others, want to participate in that this year, and if so, in which sections? Yeah.
And last year, we did a soup luncheon where people donated soup and people bought it for so much a cup.
And the village was in charge of that.
Yes, the village, that was a fundraiser for us.
Can I way back up here for a minute? I was thinking about this today, and I have it in my head for some reason that in a conversation with Wally at one point about the new water system, he and the dire straits that we're in, whether it's financially or the system itself, I think I remember him saying, if you can have a little bit of money in the wings, it just looks better for, have you heard any of this at any of PW2 meetings? But there's, a little bit of reserve money makes it more appealing for everything to pass through easier, although it's already been approved, so I don't know that that's the case. And so I don't know, that was a conversation we had last year.
So
when we
your
were
argument
talking
is,
about,
we may need
Yeah.
more money than we
do
think we
we
need.
need, or,
Yeah.
and not just for just to appeal to all those who are helping with the water system, but just for running this too. So I know we spoke to her last night about, you take the vendors, but do we need to take a step back and think, maybe we should divide that half and half, and community betterment take half of the money from the vendors, and the village allowed to take the other half, or strictly do what you just said with the, a booth and bake sale and soup, and how we're best going to get our money.
Yeah.
Just say it that way.
Right. Well, and there's some other brainstorming things that have been said, of doing cakewalk kinds of things, all wouldn't necessarily have to be for a cake, some item, and I guess I think that it's up to the board, but my thing is, I'm fine if it goes to Betterment, because I think Betterment helps the community as much as the village does, but I think the village needs to operate, and I think that if we did a nice, I think the soups are okay, but I'd like to change up some menus, and I think that's it. If we need volunteers for this 3-hour or 5-hour block of time, or we need a casserole that's Mexican of type, or that's chicken type, or that, and it's something specific that people can help with. And can you come and do the labor and pour the drinks and you know, all that for this period of time, because we have fewer volunteers all overlap, but you know, that's all we're responsible for, then we can help the better with the other things.
Can I ask a question on the casseroles? Are you thinking of selling the entire casserole?
No, that would be the lunch.
That would just be serving people
Yes.
that are there to eat, okay.
Last year, there were a whole bunch of crock pots set up, and
Right.
it just was kind of sort of industrial looking, and I think if it's a little more personal, it's more appealing and
So kind of like maybe at a restaurant where they can come in and sit down and be served.
well, space is one of the issues. I don't know that I'd serve them, but I would let them come through.
Come
and,
through like
you know, it looked like,
Yeah.
I'm just not very good at frou-frou, and I think people would like to have a tablecloth and like to have, you know, maybe real spoons and real bowls
Well,
instead
that's
of.
what I was thinking.
Yes, but taking it to their table and cleaning up after them is another step that it takes more bodies to do.
Yeah, okay.
So you're talking about dining in
Yes.
rather than carry out?
Yeah.
Unless they want to carry out.
Yeah, I mean,
And then they
yeah,
can't
they
carry
can-
out.
Because last time it was only carry out, wasn't it?
Right.
We
that's
just had
correct.
the styrofoam cups
That's
to put
correct.
it in and take it. We didn't have anything where people could sit down
That's
and
right.
eat or any of that stuff. That is right.
It says down here on this thing that she gave us about, says free vendor booth for us, bake sale, market, other, what is that talking about? That we might have either the village or the betterment or
If
other
we would like
do
to,
it as a bake sale.
yeah.
I think a bake sale would go.
I think it would go over very well. We'd have very good luck with bake sales, and again, that's something that people can donate. At Christmas time, sometimes the donations of food items are candies and, which are really good, you know. But sometimes just good old cakes and pies and
Homemade bread.
homemade bread and, yeah, those kinds of things sell as well. So also, I wouldn't say instead of, but I would say in addition to, instead of just the high sugar content brittle and caramel and all that stuff. A little goes a long way, and I wanted to buy more.
Okay, so can I ask a question? It looks like that, and I wasn't at the community betterment meeting, obviously, so the community betterment is proposing that they will do all the vendors and then this children's shop, and then we've got Dave doing music and fun. I like that. Music and fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's in good hands.
And then, so are they basically thinking that maybe the village could do the food side of it, either bake sale or?
Or both, actually.
If we
Like
want to. Well,
the
yeah.
bake sale will be a vendor booth.
Right.
Separate down on the floor.
Okay.
This is just an outline.
Right, these are,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
she'll come next.
Then that's
Right.
the same order you made.
Yeah, I guess we need to say whether we're in or not.
We're in.
Okay.
Laura, Let's make it a casserole.
We're in. And then, you know, the details sort of to be worked out.
Yeah, okay.
Is that all right? And we're in for food as well as bake sale.
When you say food,
Breakfast or lunch or
what do you
dinner.
serve, providing the breakfast?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And what was suggested, I mean, it's like from 7 to 10:30. The vendors come between 7 and 9 and set up, and the doors open to the public at 9 o'clock. And the vendors like to have
Maybe
something
I'll just
to
give
eat
you
and
my
drink.
training.
You know, cinnamon rolls are wonderful, but I think we can get more out of bake sales, cinnamon
Yeah.
rolls and some, donuts.
Because that could make them $1,000.
Yeah, something like that. And then, with drinks and so forth. Then the lunch, again, it's just me, but I think casserole, because it's something different, it's kind of warm and homey, and typically at Christmas time, I don't know, that's,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
one dish kind of thing.